how to trade the Asian session. Use the new day opening gaps for Asia. All right, so the new day opening gap, the closing price between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Okay, see this gap right here? I'm gonna take this line off. This is your new day opening gap. We closed here at 5. We reopened here at 6. That's your new day opening gap. Okay, that forms every day except for Friday, because when we close on Friday, open on Sunday, that's a new week opening gap. But this is, like right here, this is your new week opening gap actually, because we close here on Friday, we open here on Sunday. So this is your new week opening gap. All right, when you're trading Asia, get to your charts at about 6:30, okay, and plant this new week or new day opening gap on your chart. That is important. This acts as a magnet, okay, for price action. It's like a magnet. Put that back on. So I'm annotating 6 p.m. That's when your new day opening gap will form, or new week opening gap. And you want to trade Asia after 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. is your window for Asia, okay? And I'll save this so you guys can take notes and go back later. But 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. is your time window for Asia, New York time. Now, you want to mark out liquidity, your initial sell side, and your buy side liquidity that forms between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Okay, that 1 hour, mark out your initial sell side and your initial buy side. That's your buy side liquidity that forms from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. All right, look for your setup then. So we have examples here. These are all setups that form this week for the Asian session, and we're just going to walk it through. So we open at 6. All right, cool. We have our new week opening gap. Get to our charts at about 6:30. Okay, start trading at 7. Where is the sell side? Where's the buy side? Well, right here, sell side, 643. That meets the rules. We have buy side above this high, and obviously buy side above this high, but this is a long wick. Okay, this is like a triple top, too smooth. So I'm marking out this buy side. Now we have our sell side. We have our buy side that forms when? Between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Now we wait for a setup. Initial sell side taken out. Beautiful, perfect, exactly what we want to see. Why? Because remember, our new week opening gap, what is that? That's a magnet for price action. I'm expecting price to draw up into this region here. Take out initial sell side. Where's the focus? Buy side up here. Formed when? After 6 p.m. I'm not focused on anything back here. We're not looking at any sell side down here. I don't care about that. Sell side, buy side, fair value gap. Okay, this is based on a 2-minute chart. Okay, you have a 2-minute fair value gap here. Rally, entry. We have a fair value gap here, but this is also an inefficiency. That candle closed, this candle opens higher, so that's a little inefficiency there. That's a PD array. Buy it there. Inversion fair value gap. Buy it there, and we rally. Buy side tagged when? After it forms at 6 p.m. there. Okay, we have a lot of examples of this, and you're going to see it's pretty repetitive, but one thing I want to point out, the macro. Okay, we'll talk about that some more later. Hold your questions. We just started. I'm going to answer your questions. I promise. Just hold on. All right. Asia, same thing. 6 o'clock forms what? The new day opening gap. We close here at 5 p.m. Open here at 6. That's your new day opening gap. Draw that on your chart. Why? It's a magnet for price action. Now, between 6 o'clock here, 7 o'clock here, what do you need to do? Where's your buy side? Where's your sell side? We're not looking at anything prior to 6 p.m. I don't care about the buy side here. I don't care about any sell side over here. Why? It's before 6 p.m. I don't care about it. We're talking about trading Asia. Buy side formed after 6 p.m. Awesome. Put that on your chart. We have sell side formed after 6 p.m. Perfect. Put that on your chart. Now we have our new day opening gap, and we have our buy side and sell side that formed between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. We're ready to rock now. We get to 7 p.m. That's when we start trading Asia. Okay, 7 to 9. Volume imbalance. Buy it there. Let's say you're not comfortable buying that. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Just wait. Does that support price and take us higher? Look at the bodies, respecting it. Boom. breakaway gap. Once you see this, your mind should immediately flip. All right, we consolidated here. We get a breakaway gap. I want to see this stay open, and I'm looking for the next opportunity to go long, expecting this to not be traded to. Perfect. Fair value gap down here. Could buy it there. What are we targeting? Initial buy side liquidity. Right there. That right there is a bread and butter setup during Asia. We tag the buy side, retrace into the volume imbalance, and then we clear out. This is all the balanced price range. It's going to take a lot to get through that. But your focus should be the buy side formed after 6 p.m. Bread and butter setup. We got some more. It's the same thing every single day. This day, it's a little messy, a little choppy. No big deal. The rules are still the same. Now, when you have when you have an instance like this, our new day opening gap is literally like 2 ticks. I'm gonna take this off. Notice how we closed here at 5 p.m., open here at 6. So that's your new day opening gap, but it's really like 2 ticks. So I just draw it out with a line because there's barely a separation there. All right. Same rules apply. Nothing changes because it's algorithmic. 6 p.m. Draw out your new day opening gap. Check. Done. Where's your buy side? Where's your sell side that forms between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m.? Well, you have your sell side here, buy side here, and if we get really animated, buy side up here. 7 p.m. starts our window when we can start trading. We drop down. What do? We take out the sell side. Where's our focus? This is perfect. When you see this, you should be getting excited. Your eyes should be getting big. This right here is exactly what you want to see, because what do we know? That new day opening gap is a what? It's a magnet for price action. So if we're expecting price to trade back up to the new day opening gap because it's a magnet, and we see us drop down, taking out the sell side that forms when? After 6 p.m. We don't care about anything over here. We drop down, taking out the sell side that forms after 6 o'clock. What do we leave up here? Those are relative equal highs. Buy side. Perfect. That's what we love to see. Fair value gap, breakaway gap, we never trade into it. Perfect. That signs a bullish order flow. Fair value gap here. Okay, this is also anchored to a 2-minute chart just because it's a little sloppy. You could do that on your own. Go to your 2-minute chart, and you'll see the fair value gap. Boom. Rally, trade to the order block. We retrace one more time. No big deal. When did this small little setup form? During the macro. Same thing here. Your entry, you get that before your time window ends at 9 p.m. Fair value gap. Okay. Buy side here, is that a target? Absolutely. But you still have to have common sense. Isn't this buy side up here? Okay. And remember, this is Asia. Don't expect 100 handle runs in Asia. Fair value gap. Buy side. We were traced down. Fair value gap. Okay, this is outside your time window, but it's still during macro. Rally. Buy side. And just fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. There's your new day opening gap right there. So if you like leaving runners, if you just want to leave one on, because we understand that the new day opening gap is a magnet for price action. There's your runner, but we're not done yet. Initial buy side. When did this buy side form? After 6 p.m. You have to have that on your chart. So let's go forward, go forward, go forward. There you go. There's your buy side. All right. I think we have 1 or 2 more examples. It's the same thing. But nonetheless, this day here, more or less just sideways price action, but you can still see the logic after taking out initial sell side. All right here. It looks a little messy, but I'm explaining it. So we have our new day opening gap. This is a large new day opening gap. So whenever we have a large gap like this, I run quadrants on it. So I get the midpoint, I get the lower quadrant, and I get the upper quadrant. Same rules apply. 6 p.m., that starts our new day opening gap. That gives us our new day opening gap once we get that opening price at 6. Perfect. Perfect. So let's put this back on here. If I can manage. There we go. So these are all quadrants. This is your high of the new day opening gap. This is your upper quadrant. This is consequent encroachment. This is your lower quadrant. And this is the low. Okay. So this is your new day opening gap split into 4 equal quadrants. Where's your buy side? Where's your sell side? That forms when? After 6 p.m. Again, We don't care about anything before 6 p.m. We're only focused on finding a setup during Asia. And you only need 6 p.m. and anything after that. So sell side here forms when after 6 p.m. before 7 p.m. Perfect. That meets the criteria. That's your initial sell side liquidity. And we have buy side here. Now, why am I annotating this buy side and not just this one? Because all this back and forth, that's a balanced price range. Okay, that's high resistance. If we're going to trade and reach to this buy side, it's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of force to get up there because we have all this back and forth. All right, it's not just like a low right here, how it's just one single low. It'll be easy to trade down into that. But because we have this up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, buy side, you want to take a partial there because it's going to be high resistance trying to get all the way back up to this high. All right, so we dropped down and actually traded this. I sent this in the Discord. I took this setup this long here, but we'll talk about that. So sell side, buy side, we get to 7 o'clock, time to find a setup. Perfect. Get this low, we trade up into a fair value gap, we trade down. Once I see this right here, what do? We fail to take out this low. We fail to take out this low. We fail to reach initial sell side. Not a problem. Once we rally, take out a short-term high, fair value gap, that's an entry. Down close candle before the displacement, that's a bullish order block. That could be an entry. And then I go along here, targeting buy side, and I also target the first quadrant, lower quadrant of the new day opening gap, which is this line here. Hits it perfectly to the tick. All right, let's go back here. If we're expecting the new day opening gap, remember, what is the new day opening gap? It's a magnet for price action. So do we want to see us take out sell side and just continue to work lower, continue to work lower, continue to work lower? Absolutely not. Our magnet, okay, is up here. So the fact that, for one, price did not take out the initial sell side, okay, I'm making a mental note of that. But this low here, we trade down, we fail to take out this low, and then we start to move away. Once I see that, I'm saying, okay, the price wants to go higher, reach for buy side, and we want to reprice in to this new day opening gap. Fair value gap entry, order block entry, fair value gap entry. I took this long. You can see that in the My Trades channel in the Discord. Tagging the buy side, I took a partial there, and then I leave a remaining contract on for the new day opening gap quadrant up here. And then if we zoom over, remember this buy side. Okay, we're not focused on any liquidity equal highs. We're not focused on that because it's before 6 p.m. This is your buy side liquidity that forms after 6. So that's your focus. Draw that on your chart, extend it all the way through. Bang, right there. Now you're watching, do we have the willingness to get to the upper quadrant, which is this level here of the new day opening gap? Boom, upper quadrant tagged, and we completely reprice to the high of that new day opening gap there. And I believe there is no Asia session for Friday. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, this is Thursday. All right, right here. This is beautiful. Beautiful, y'all. I'll see your questions. We're almost done with this, and then I'll take a little break. Same rules apply. It's algorithmic. Nothing's changed. 6 p.m. Get your opening price. That's your new day opening gap. Now, right here, your new day opening gap is literally like 2 ticks. Okay, so this candle's where we close at 5, and we reopen at 6 right here. So it's a small little gap there. It's like 2 or 3 ticks. Nothing crazy, but it's algorithmic. You need to have that on your chart. Now, same rules. Where's your buy side and where's your sell side? That forms after 6 p.m. Okay, between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., where's your buy side and sell side? I'm not looking at this high up here. I'm not looking at this high. That's the buy side I'm interested in. We also have a buy side up here. We have sell side down here. Now, we trade down, fair value gap. Let's say you don't trust this because you're expecting price to trade up into the new day opening gap and possibly the buy side above here and here. So you may not take this short. That's not a problem. Just wait. Fair value gap sends us lower into what? Initial sell side liquidity that formed after 6 p.m. Now, once that tags, okay, once we tag that liquidity pool, we're waiting to see, do we want to get back up into this? Why? It's a magnet for price action. New day opening gaps are magnets. We take out initial sell side. Perfect. Do we still have time left in the Asia session to find a setup? Absolutely. We tag that sell side at 8 o'clock. We're trading until 9. Fair value gap, you may not trust that. You may not trust this entry. Use it as insight. Do we close past consequent encroachment of this fair value gap? Do we trade past it? No. What do? We left the lower half of this fair value gap open. You may not feel comfortable pressing the buy button. Use it for insight instead to get a read on order flow. In my mind, I'm saying, okay, because we failed to reach past consequent encroachment and we've taken out initial sell side, we're likely to see a setup above these equal highs and repricing up to the new day opening gap. This right here is a PD array. This is an entry. This candle closes there and we open lower. So there's a small little inefficiency, small little gap. That's a PD array. ICT introduced that in his 2024 playlist. I'm pretty sure I have my notes posted on that as well. You could buy it there, rally. Let's say you want to get in the move. You didn't buy it here. You didn't buy it here. How can you trade this? It looks like a bunch of, scribble, right? You can absolutely trade this if there's logic. Well, if we know that this fair value gap, the lower half stayed open, I don't want to see it trade back down here. Okay, let's say you missed this entry. We trade it into this PD array. We rally away these two down close candles. That's a bullish order block. Let's say you're still not in the trade. You can enter here. Once this candle opens, the small little doji, we open higher than this candle. So we open. As soon as we open, that forms a gap because we open higher. If it trades down, you could buy it right there. Boom. Buy it, stop loss where? Below these two down close candles, which is a bullish order block. So opens, trades down, you could buy it. Same thing here. This candle closes, this candle opens where? Higher than this candle. So as soon as this candle opens, trades down, boom, buy it. That's a gap. That's an inefficiency. You can buy that. Equal highs, buy side, foreign win after 6 p.m. More specifically, where do we go? Look at the bodies. Remember that new day opening gap that was only like 2 ticks? Algorithmic. That candle's close, or that candle's open rather. That candle's close. See the work around these levels? That's a partial. And you're holding to see, do we have the willingness to tag the buy side, the highest high formed after 6 p.m., which is this level here? Of course we do. Bang, right there. And this is all just from this past week. All these setups happened this week. And that's it. Love y'all, man. I'll see you guys in the market Tuesday morning at 9:30. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. All right? Peace.